I just dropped my deodorant in the toilet, so that is where I'm currently at in life. So the Venus XS palette, extra small. This is a review on this, although it's also a first impression, and I know that people are like, don't do a review if it's your first impression. So take this video as a first impression, although I normally get my thoughts on an eyeshadow formula right away. My thoughts never change with a palette after the first couple times I've used it, as opposed to the like 100th time I've used it. My thoughts just don't change. I really get a good idea of how I like a formula very early on. So take this as a first impression if that offends you, but it is my review, and I might do a more in-depth review, but literally there's 4 shadows, so it's not like there's a massive palette that I'm doing a first impression on and I only used like a couple shadows. Like, I'm gonna use all these shadows today, I think. So the deal with these is Lime Crime came out with, there's the silver one, like a rose goldy one, and then a gold one. Although I think, so when I first saw this, I thought this silver was more of a frosty blue, which made me most excited for this palette. And I mean, it kind of is. It definitely reflects lots of blue tones and actually some gold tones as well, which is kind of neat. But I wish they like named the palettes cuter, you know what I'm talking about? Like the brown one, well, the gold one looks like s'mores, so they could have named that one s'more or toasty s'mores, and this one they could have named frosty, and then they could have found like a cute wintry name for the rose gold one as well. I don't know, or they could have just left it rose gold, but I was hoping they'd do cute little names like that, since I think these are limited edition for the holidays. I thought that would have been cute, but you know what, it is what it is. So we're just gonna hop right into this. My camera is doing some weird things today, so I just hope I get through this. I already primed my eyes and everything with one of my favorite primers. One of my favorite brushes, this is by BH Cosmetics. It's the V19. Oh, I guess you can't see that. This is what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just gonna take the lightest shade in this palette, which is Crescent, I think. I'm just gonna, so there is kickback when I dip into it. Don't mind that though. I already primed my eyes. Did I already say that? I think so. I like that color. That's a really pretty, I like that. Lots of times these colors look cool toned in the pan, then I put them on my eyes and they go like straight up orange. But that is pretty actually. That's like my perfect everyday throw in the crease shade. Ooh. So I am only reviewing this palette. This is the only one that really piqued my interest. Maybe if the gold one was named S'mores, I'd be more interested. Just kidding. Names like that get me though. You know, like the Anastasia, their like sugar highlighting palette. That, I'm pretty sure I only want that because it's named Sugar, and I love sugar. It's a problem. Anyways, I'm just gonna buff this under my lower lash line too. Normally I do halo eyes, but I think I'm not gonna do that today, so. This type of color I really like to kind of smoke out on the bottom lash, because it kind of makes you look like, it's kind of like a nice subtle dead girl eyeshadow kind of color, you know what I'm talking about? Those are my favorite, but this is a very subtle one and I appreciate it, because sometimes it's just too intense for every day. I don't want to look too dead every day, but like kind of dead, you know? It's a pretty unique little eyeshadow palette. Okay, so it is pretty, I mean, when I'm close up like this, it's kind of washed out, but it is, well, I guess it's not even that dark, so I guess I can't really judge the pigment. I mean, it looks like it's there, so it is a little bit dusty, but I haven't gotten fallout yet, so I'm just gonna build up a little bit more. Alright, so I really like that color. This color is kind of one that you see in lots of palettes and you're like, oh, well, that's in like all palettes. But I haven't found one that actually like pulls true to this shade. Lots of them go very warm on me, so I can appreciate this being a pale, cool toned gal. Now I'm going to take this darker matte shade right here, which is called Plated, I think. Yeah. And I should take it on a smaller brush, but you know what? we're going for today. And I'm just gonna put it on the outer corner. Ooh. I said this in a recent Get Ready With Me, but that's probably not up yet. I have a freckly mole thing right here. So all the time in my videos it looks like that spot's not blended, but I literally just have a little mole there, so. I mean, it could also not be blended, but. Okay, now I'm gonna take a smaller brush. I know, so proud of me. And then I'm gonna just, another BH Cosmetics brush, V20. Hopefully there's not some weird color on here. There's black, that's okay. Just kidding, I'll clean that off. And then I'm gonna go back into that darker shade and just smoke it on my lower lash line, tap it off. Just mostly in the outer corner, I think, though. Just gonna take that smaller brush up on top as well, just to kind of add a little more depth, more precisely. So these are blending out really nice. They're not sticking in weird spots. They are lighter colors, but I mean, some people are into that. Like, that's more what I grab to on a daily basis. Okay, I think that is how I want the mattes so far. I don't have fallout, which is nice, especially for an everyday palette, and I'll get more into that in the towards the end. But I'm gonna take this silvery bluey shade, and it's so pretty, and I'm just gonna put that on my lid. Okay, this might, if you want full, like, complete coverage with this shade, I can build it up with my finger pretty well, but you might need to go in with it wet. I'll see what that looks like, but I actually am kind of digging this light glittery situation happening. It's very glittery for a shimmer shadow. I don't know if you're gonna be able to really tell on camera, but I really like it. I don't have lots of shimmer formulas like this. That's pretty and frosty. Now let's take that big brush and just blend those edges. Feeling it, like touching it, it feels really creamy. And it looks, so I think to get this on your eye, you're gonna have to wet it. I really like how it looks right now, so I would just leave it like this. But for the sake of this video, I will wet it once I'm done with this eye. Okay, yeah, so that definitely makes it more the shade you get picked up on your finger. Don't know if I'm gonna put this on my inner corner or something else. Ooh, I really like that. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's pretty and frosty for the winter time. Okay, I'm gonna just blend out this a little bit better. This is a very sloppy look, I understand. I have class in pretty soon, so I don't know why I like this color so much. I don't think I have stuff like this in my collection, this like silvery blue. Probably because it's not something I normally go for, but in the winter time, I feel like this is everything. Do I want to put any on my lower lash line? That's the question. I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna leave that to something else, but let me finish up my makeup and then I will be right back. Hey, so my makeup's done. I realized I didn't use that second shimmer shade, so I just quickly like blended it in between that silvery and the matte, and I really liked how that looked. It really made it blend so much better together. So my thoughts on this palette. First off, the packaging seems a little bulky. I wish it could have been like to there or whatever. The mattes, the thing with this is, I mean, in this, it is very light colors anyways, so you are gonna get a pretty light look like this. So I think it really depends on if this color scheme is your thing. Obviously, I haven't tried the other two palettes, but I do really like this one. Maybe not necessarily for, I mean, I do like the look I made today. Also, I put some glitter on my inner corners, But I do like the look I made today, and this is definitely a kind of look that I would just, you know, quickly make and go out the house. Like, I did this look in a very short amount of time, and the mattes were nice. They blended really well, and they're buildable, so that's good. They also blended well into the shimmers. The shimmers, putting on even with your finger, kind of gives you like a light, you know, they're very glittery, so you mostly get that glitter on your lid and not so much the background pigment, which honestly I like for an everyday look. I kind of really like those types of shadows to kind of just wash over my eyes. That being said, since they are so glittery, they do have quite a bit of little, you know, travelers around, a little bit of fallout, which kind of bothers me with shimmer shades, just because I don't like glitter getting all over my face throughout the day. But since I cleaned out my fallout, I haven't got any more glitter like transferred down. I think though, if I would have used a tacky base for it, or like the NYX glitter glue primer, I think that would have been perfect. I do really like how it looks. I really like this look I created with it, and since I did it so fast, I think that's awesome. And I only used 4 shades, which is also awesome. So I think these are really nice palettes for every day, or if you just kind of, you really are into the color scheme. I think they're nice. Yeah, the shimmer shades are pretty sheer without getting them wet. But like I said, I like that. If you don't like that, then maybe these aren't the palettes for you. So yeah, I'm sorry this video was kind of rushed. I have to get out to class, and also my camera is just being insane right now. But if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below if I forgot to mention anything. Yeah, this one, at least this palette in the XS, has my stamp of approval. I really like the color scheme. I think it's really pretty for winter. And yeah, I think that's it. If you have any questions, please leave it down in the comments below, and I would be happy to answer them. Here's a quick close-up look. That's what it's looking like. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one if you watch it.